Alright guys, let's cut to the chase. In today's video, I'm going to explain to you exactly why your fitness classes aren't giving you the results that you want. Hi, my name is JC. I am a group fitness instructor. I teach cycle, yoga, strength, HIIT, Pilates, pretty much everything. And in today's video, I'm going to show you why your group fitness classes aren't giving you the results you want and how you can utilize them to achieve your goals. Now, first of all, what is a group fitness class? Well, it is some sort of workout class, typically in different styles or to achieve a specific goal, where a bunch of people come in and there's one instructor that leads the class. It's a really great way to get a workout in if you don't want to program your own workouts, but there are some cons that we need to talk about and some ways that we can further utilize these classes. So specifically in today's video, we're going to discuss the three biggest problems with fitness classes, the potential solutions on both the instructor's end and the participant's end to these problems, and how you could implement group fitness classes into a weekly routine in order to achieve your goals. Now, before we get started, if you're new here, I'm JC. Like I said, I'm an ACE certified group fitness instructor. I'm a personal trainer and I'm a college student. So if any of that content sounds super fun to you, go ahead and hit that subscribe button for more fitness-based content. Now, without further ado, let's get started. First, we're going to address the problems with group fitness classes. Now, the three biggest problems that I have found as both an instructor and a participant with group fitness classes are that there is little forms of progressive overload in classes in general. As the class is catered to everyone as a whole and not to the individual, a participant cannot rely on just the instructor to tell them how or when to progress. Second, many classes have a per class sign up, so there isn't much consistency with participant attendance for the class or instructor, and that makes it hard for the class or the members to get everything out of a structured program. Finally, participants typically have a lack of understanding what the different classes actually do for them, and so there can be miscommunications with participants thinking that they are improving in one area where they're actually improving in another, and that can lead to some dissatisfaction. So let's talk about these three in a little bit more depth. So addressing that there are little forms of progressive overload in a class, as an instructor, your number one concern for the class is safety. And so you're not always looking at the workout intensity of the class. First and foremost, when I'm scanning the room, I'm trying to make sure that everyone is doing the exercise safe. And while that can really help someone learn how to do form and it's really great for a beginner, for someone who's been attending the class for a while, it can make the class feel a bit easy and like they're not getting anything out of it. When in reality, they probably need to either go up in weight or go up in intensity, and they just don't know when or how to do that. Additionally, when you're instructing the whole room, you typically only have your sight to tell intensity, which is not the greatest indicator unless someone comes to you after class and actually talks to you about it. One of the benefits of being both a fitness instructor and personal trainer is that as a personal trainer, I use the talk test to monitor participants' intensity, specifically asking them to rate how the exercise made them feel on a scale of 1 to 10. With that, we can have more conversations, personalized conversations about what 1 to 10 can feel like for them. I often tell them that I want them working out at a 6 or a 7, where they feel like they have 3 to 4 reps left in them after each set. But in a fitness class, depending on what class you're taking, scale of 1 to 10 can mean very different things. And so it's up to the instructor to explain it, but the participants also have to be able to understand. Finally, it is difficult in a fitness class to explain to participants how to progress. Some might have the ability to do it properly, and others might try to progress before they're ready and risk an injury. Next, let's address the sign up. Many classes have a per class sign up, which means you sign up for each individual class you take. If a participant doesn't consistently go to a class every week, they might not be able to get everything they can out of continually going back and having that repetition and practice with the particular format or instructor. Additionally, if an instructor does build a multi-long week progressive program, 80% of the participants are only going to be there for a few weeks of that program and are not going to get a good experience or the benefits out of the program. Last year, I taught a total body strength course that focused on full body strength, and I did a barbell program for 6 weeks where we worked on barbell squats and full barbell front raises. I progressed the program so that if a participant came every single week, that they would be able to eventually be able to do a full barbell front raise. I counted my attendance each week, and I only had 3 people go to the program for all 6 weeks, and those 3 were able to do a barbell front raise confidently and made significant improvements in their barbell back squat. But the person who only came to weeks 1 and 3 didn't get as much out of the program and probably left feeling a little dissatisfied. Lastly, participants have a lack of understanding when it comes to what the different classes actually do for them. Many participants, their goal is getting into shape, burning fat, building muscle, and none of those things are bad goals. But when you look specifically at the building muscle goal, a lot of people want lean muscle, especially as women, which again, not a problem to have. But they have misconceptions that Pilates is how you get the lean muscle, when in actuality, classes like Pilates or yoga sculpt can help with alignment in your back and spine and core stability, which are amazing things that we need in daily life, but they're not going to help you with building muscle. Building muscle comes through strength. And so there's these misconceptions that, oh, I'm gonna go to this Pilates class and I'm gonna get really toned. And Pilates isn't making you tone. Pilates is giving you amazing posture and good core stability to help you in strength training. But you're not gonna build muscle with strength training. But then there's the argument of I just want general fitness, and if your goal is to just have general movement and do movement you enjoy, just do it. The ultimate goal of movement is doing what you enjoy. But if you have specific goals of building muscle or improving your cardiorespiratory health, you wanna make sure you're going to classes that actually help you achieve those goals. Now that we've addressed these different problems, let's look at potential solutions. We're gonna look at solutions on both the instructor's end and on the participant's end in how we can keep the misinformation out and best build on our participants' experience. First, what could an instructor do to help with this? First of all, an instructor could include dialogue throughout their class on how to measure intensity, when to move up in progression, and additionally provide time in the class to reflect on your intensity and when to make these progressive choices. For example, I teach a gym floor circuit class where we move around the gym in different weightlifting stations. I often tell people to pick a starting weight, and then after we do each set of stations, we have a break. During that break, I talk about intensity. I talk about my scale of 1 to 10, how we should feel like we're at a 6 or a 7, what 6 or 7 means, and I give them an opportunity. I want you to reflect on that and whether or not you need to up your weight or maybe up the intensity of the movement that you're doing. And a lot of times I found that allowing this minutes of reflection helps the participants realize, oh, I can move up in weight for this last one. It gives them that extra push, but I don't feel like moving weight is I don't make them feel like moving up weight's the only option. Sometimes people need that modification. And so you want to provide space for both the progression and a regression in your class. And when you start talking about progressions and regressions more, you make them less stigmatized, because often in fitness classes, people are given the progressed movement and then the regression. We want that baseline, and we want there to be an addition and a subtraction for it. When you give those, it allows participants the autonomy to make their own choices. And when you provide reflective spaces and dialogue about how they should be feeling, it allows them to best adjust for their bodies and their particular needs. Instructors can also set a time block. I like to do 3 months, where they include specific goal movements in each class to provide ample practice time for participants to improve on these goals. I would make sure that they know that this is a goal movement and encourage participants to progress when ready and show them what progression can look like. For example, going back to my strength class, I did a 3-month program where we did a barbell back squat in every single class. I talked about moving up. I talked about how to add weight on. For example, we would do it for 2 rounds of 45 seconds. And I would say in our break, I'd be like, hey, if you felt like that was at a 4 or 5 out of intensity, maybe go grab a 2.5 plate for each side and add it on for this next round. Let's really push ourselves. Or I'd say, hey, if you felt like that was at a 9 or 10 intensity, maybe let's do a few less reps this set, take more time in between each rep, or maybe let's take some weight off and focus on our form at first. That's kind of how you can have those conversations to initiate autonomy in your fitness classes where participants can feel like they are making improvement. Finally, fitness instructors should talk about the objectives of each class that they teach. When I teach a Pilates class, I make a point in my introductory spiel that this class is about core stability and spinal mobility, and that's going to be the majority of what we focus on there. That way we can kind of start to break those miscommunications that people may have from unreliable sources and get them into the zone of, I'm in Pilates because I'm going to train my core and improve my spinal health. And then in my strength class, I talk about how we're going to build muscle in here and improve our muscular fitness and longevity. And so when you really state the objectives over and over, it gets into the participants' minds and helps them get a clearer understanding. And also being open to having conversations with participants after class if they have any questions. Now on the participants' end, I want you guys to do research online of what these classes are about, what you can expect, so that you don't come in thinking that this Pilates class is going to help you build muscle and then you leave with thinking, oh my gosh, we only did core and spine things. What? Second, talk to your instructor if you ever have any questions about what a class does for you. I have participants come to me all the time to ask about different strength exercises and where should they be feeling this, and hey, is my form right on this? Like, go talk to your instructors. They're here to help you. And oftentimes we don't know that you have questions just based on sight alone, because a lot of participants keep a very poker face during classes. Finally, participants, you need to have realistic expectations of what you can expect from a class. One Pilates class is not going to give you a 6-pack, but staying very consistent with Pilates for a few months will help improve your spine and core stability and mobility. So if you need to, and also evaluate after each class whether this is something that you want to stick with and keep working on, or step back, find a class that better suits your needs. Because sometimes a class just isn't going to meet your needs, or an instructor isn't going to fit your personality, and that's a-okay. Finally, finally, let's talk about how to implement a fitness class schedule into your weekly routine. I'm specifically going to design this schedule for someone who really enjoys fitness classes as their way to work out, doesn't really want to plan workouts, and just wants to go to 5 fitness classes every single week. So first of all, I'm going to recommend taking a variety of classes to supplement different exercise staples. So first thing I'd recommend right off the bat is have 1 to 2 days of strength-focused fitness classes. So this would ideally be an upper body class and a lower body strength class, or maybe it is 2 full body classes. I would find a class marketed as like muscular strength, total body strength, full body strength, something that includes the word strength, something where you're lifting a decent amount of weight. This will help improve your muscular fitness goals and target your full body so that your muscles can have opportunity to grow and move through the 5 different main patterns. Second, I would recommend 1 to 2 days of cardiorespiratory class training. I would just pick simply whatever you find fun. Cardiorespiratory fitness classes make up the bulk of different classes. So this could be things like an Orange Theory class, a Zumba class, a cycling class, a HIIT class, a bar class, anything where you are moving and grooving constantly and really working that cardiorespiratory fitness. It doesn't need to be something super intense. It could literally just be a super chill Zumba class, like if you want to go to like more of a chill Zumba. Or it could be a super intense Zumba class or an intense cycle. Like find something that fits your specific needs. Finally, I would go to 1 or 2 days of mobility, alignment, stability classes. So these would be your Pilates classes, your yoga classes, maybe in like a Tai Chi class, but something mind-body where you're working on that breath to muscle connection, where you're training your core, your spine alignment, and just getting that full body experience. But finally, I want you to remember when you're scheduling your fitness classes to 1, do your research and have clear expectations for the class, and 2, remember what matters most is that you're taking classes that you enjoy. So if you find a class that doesn't necessarily align with your goals, but this class makes you want to get up and work out in the morning, go do that class, because adherence to an exercise program is ultimately the biggest goal. Thank you guys so much for watching. That's all I have for you today. If you enjoyed this video, comment down below what kind of fitness classes are your favorite. Make sure to like and subscribe for more fun fitness content. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.